listen, I know people in the comments are probably going to be dragging us, but listen, we're here to critique. Like, that's things. People will be like, stop complaining, but we're here to critique it. Like,
so we're being raw right now, hence this like fabulous natural look we've got going on. But you guys wanted us to talk about Wild Hearts Crew, just kind of like a first impressions, like our thoughts, because they're not even out yet. We haven't even started toy hunting for them yet.
It's the new doll line by Mattel. It's designed by one of the same designers that worked on Monster High. They were kind of revealed at Clamor. And we'll dive into our thoughts.
And the picture that we're using is on Mattel's Instagram, which we think is strange that they don't have a Wild Hearts Instagram I think is funny. But yeah, we're going to start from this one all the way to this one and kind of analyze if you guys want to work with us. And we'll be saying the characters' names as we break them down. There are 5 dolls in this first wave. I'll say it's the first wave, just in case they decide to make more. So the first one is Cory Cruz, and she's a musician. She's got some fabulous purple hair.
I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but I don't know if I'm gonna sneeze, so just like...
Just sneeze away. Is that your thought? That was your thought?
No, okay. So looking at the lineup, Cory is the one that draws my attention the most. She has the purple hair. She has a deeper complexion, which I really like. I like that her complexion is deeper than the normal black dolls that we get, because I feel like, you know, typically even with Bratz or Monster High, we start off with Clawdeena, who's fairly light-skinned, and Sasha, who's like not light-skinned, but, you know, not like a deeper complexion, which is what made Felicia like a very sought-after doll. So she has a deeper complexion I really like, and I really like the overall design for her. Her eyes are probably my favorite. If you look at some detailed shots, a lot of them have earrings and accessories that belong to other older doll lines. I definitely see these earrings. They're from somewhere.
Which one? Oh, that one, spike ones?
They have spikes.
Well, that's a different photo. See, the one that you're looking at might be a prototype shot, because look, the one that's in the Mattel release is just plain hoops. So
one thing that, so we should note that too, how like in the ones that they showed at Clamor actually have different accessories than the ones you see in the promo shot.
So I know that's something on my live video last week that people were saying, they're like, oh, they're basically reprinting or remaking Monster High and Barbie accessories on these dolls, which I understand.
So here's another promo shot. So this is a prototype shot. Not from Clamor.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so there is some differences, which I don't get angry when they reprint stuff sometimes, just because I understand they can't make a million different molds for things. But with the new doll line, I would have liked to have seen new molds just because it's a new line. That's
so these earrings are from Calamari, which was the Great Scarier Reef Monster High doll line. I like her top. I like the flames. I really, really like the eyes on all of them, so I guess just from the jump.
They all have, like, a heavier eyeliner, which I like. It's more of a dramatic look. I like when dolls have makeup on. Like, I don't get me wrong, I love the natural look on a certain doll, if that's what they're trying to portray, but these girls definitely have, like, all have colored hair, have a lot of makeup. They're on trend, I feel like. If I had to kind of say that.
Yeah.
I wonder if she comes with any instruments, because she actually looks like she has headphones, but for a musician, I would like to see one of her accessories be an actual, like...
Yeah, like a guitar or a drum set. I'm sure they'll come out with play sets, but,
because there are fashion packs. They did leak images of fashion packs.
Yeah, I saw the fashion packs.
The second one's going to be Kenya Roswell. I kind of like that name.
It's Kenna.
Or Kenna. Is it Kenna? Yeah, not Kenya. Kenna Roswell, who's a photographer, and she comes with a camera around her neck. I like her blue hair. It actually reminds me of one of the wigs that you've worn before. Like,
this doll reminds me of
hair.
me.
Yeah,
like, I'm looking at her, I feel like I've definitely seen this look on myself. Not completely. I wouldn't necessarily dress like this anymore, but I like the beret. I really love her eyes. They're almost all giving me kind of Clawdeena vibes because their eyes are all so bright. But I really like her facial screening.
Well, all 4 except, well, excuse me, 4 out of the 5 except for, is it JC or Jazzy? Jazzy Masters? They all have like the open mouth smile where you see teeth. And they all have like that like pierced like I can't do it, but like that type of mouth to them. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but I thought that was, it makes them kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
like
think it's
fashion forward kind of. I don't like her denim right off the bat though, just because it has like the graffiti writing. I feel like we've seen that before in other lines, and I feel like it's a little dated a little bit.
So I will say that I feel like, would say going into JC, I really like that they have different body types. They're all kind of the curvy body, but yet they all look different. They have different sizings to them. And
yeah,
I really...
JC, though, you could definitely tell has a curvy, or like a resemblance of a made-to-move curve, like the curvy fashionista dolls. Which, I don't know, again, just from the pictures, I can't determine the density of the plastic. That's something I'm really interested in when we do a full-length review of the dolls, is, like, how sturdy they are. I really like on JC's, like, I love her hair. I love how it's red with pink highlights. I think that is so cute. Because sometimes you'll see dolls with pink hair or red hair, but red and pink highlight. I'm like... I'm feeling that with her. I'm really excited about that one.
So...
And she's a skater, too. I don't know if we mentioned that, but...
One thing with JC is that she, if you zoom in, actually has the Monster High Skelette as a patch on her denim vest. On the left side, you can kind of see that there's...
Do you think that was the designers kind of putting their little
So I think they're kind of, like, inserting Monster High into it. I wonder if this will kind of, like... canonically bring it together. For all we know, in the webisodes, if they have any, they'll like watch Monster High or something, you know, I don't know, but these could also be considered like the normies in parallel of the Monster High
that'd be cool,
canon.
like another universe thing.
So I mean, I think that it's definitely really cool that they're having little...
Almost like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, they're trying to blend the worlds, like, trying to maybe get the fans from, like, a collector's aspect, like, oh, you guys like Monster High? Well, this has a little flavor of that. Like, it's not 100% going to be Monster High. I don't think anything ever will be like that. But it does definitely give you, like, that flavor or taste of what we got from that before. And just even the design of, like, the background where it has all the printing and everything, that, to me, reminds me of, like, what we used to see with, like, Monster High boxes and stuff, with all the little, like, hearts and stamps and lightning bolts, obviously, with Frankie. Yeah. So I can definitely see the coloring, the flavor of what we saw with Monster High. Going into the fourth doll, she's the Dreamer.
Girl, first of all, why? So we have musician, photographer, skater, Dreamer. They said
she has no hobbies.
She's the one who says, oh, you guys are going to McDonald's, can I get a 10-piece? And we're like, okay, well, where's your funds? And she's like, well, I figured you guys would just pay for it. But she's that friend. She's the one who, like, isn't paying for anything. She talks about having a YouTube channel, but never films the videos for it. Like...
And what's her name? Is it Rayleigh Radmore? Rayleigh? Is that how you say it? Rayleigh or Rayleigh Radmore? I don't know. I'm probably, again, you know me, I cannot say names ever on here, so...
So a lot of people were complaining about the half-shaved side head. Now,
I like it still. I used to have my head half-shaved. I know it's like a dying thing. I get it. It's not as trendy as it used to be. But I love that on dolls, though. I don't
know if it's actually half-shaved. Like, looking at it, it looks like it might just be pulled back behind the headband.
Oh, it does. But again, prototype versus... What do we know? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I will say this is...
promo pic and what could be just the prototype.
This is what I will say, is prototypes are no different than what you'll get. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have a lot of fuss and say these things about prototype versus what you get on... These are exactly what you're going to get. The only different that you'll see in Mattel prototypes is the screening. So do not listen to anybody that says, like, oh, the prototype, because that's going to be the same thing that you get.
Okay. Because this one does definitely... to me, this one looks like it has a shaved head in the picture on
So
here.
I think that with this one... It could also just be the lack of quality in the images we're looking at. Because, like, they are all fairly blurry.
They
but,
are, yeah, they're kind of blurry.
I just think that, you know, I think
it
that
it looks pulled back in that one.
I like her pants. I like that she has a fanny pack. I think that looking at their outfits,
the fanny pack, yeah.
Her, I'd say 2 out of 5, she probably has the most on-trend outfit. Like, I feel like I could see people actually wearing this.
I like the plaid zippered pants. It's very trip looking. It's very Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like that.
Yeah, like they have stuff.
And I like the jacket.
Hills.
Is really cute. And I like the two-tone hair as well on that one. Really
so this
cute.
Is another
That's definitely what I'm probably going to buy.
So I think it's painted on. So the one that we saw where it looks... So it is... possibly shaved, we don't know because we don't have it in person, but it looks like they probably painted on like some edges, so it looks like
it might have been shaved
instead of just a straight down, like.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Again, I have to see it in person, so right now I am not voicing an opinion either way.
Yeah.
Lastly, Charlie Lake. I kind of like some of these names do remind me of like drag queen names, and I like them. I would say they're interesting names. And she's the rocker. So is she a musician?
Yeah, like why you got a rocker and then a musician? So what? What is going on?
Maybe she's rocking out to her friend Cory's
She looks like
music.
the trucker. She looks like...
Okay, talking about on trend, does that not remind you of like Von Dutch, like Britney Spears, early 2000s?
Hers is probably my least favorite outfit, but it is very Von Dutch. She has that Von Dutch hat on.
Let me see if I can get the picture.
Listen, I'm not trying to... I always feel bad almost talking about this because I'm like, you know, someone really did sit there and take the time to design this. Like, the designer of that doll will watch this, but just not on trend. It's just not...
No, it's not just the design. I think the designer comes up with the general concept, but then also when it comes to the line of, like, production, cost, you know, test groups, things like that, maybe her vision just didn't work out with all of those other people. And then that's what they settled on. I think when it comes to doll lines, they have to settle somewhere. You can't make everybody happy. So for some reason, I guess people really wanted to see them in a trucker hat, a high-waisted denim skirt with a red purse and a Pegasus on her shirt. I'm
looking at them and I'm getting major if you took the aesthetic of Venus McFlytrap and Mycene dolls. They look like Mycene. They look like curvy Mycenes with the Venus Envy aesthetic. Like, this looks more like...
In the eyes and the face, I can see the Mycene.
It looks more like if Mycene had a rocker line. It doesn't necessarily look like... I think my issue with the Wild Hearts crew in general, as of what we're seeing right now, is that it looks like a doll line, but not a doll brand. Like, Monster High, the core four, there was no specific aesthetic to everyone. Like, yes, they were gothic, they were kind of more monstrous, they had little accessories, but with the Wild Hearts crew, this looks like it could be like Barbie and the Rockers doll line.
Or, I know what you mean, yeah.
Like, it looks like...
It looks like it could be any dolls that with just some random clothes on it. It doesn't look an actual, like...
They all look a little bit too cohesive with one another. Like, which I understand. I can get why they do that, but even when you think of Monster High or Bratz...
so you don't see as much individual personality within each doll because they all kind of blur together.
And I mean, maybe they did that so you can mix and match their outfits more, so it doesn't feel like... Because I would say, even for myself, when I would redress dolls, I wouldn't put Clawdeena's outfit on Draculaura because it's so set to her aesthetic.
I agree with that.
So they might have did it for that reason, but overall, I just can't see myself getting dolls as long as they continue to print on these fabrics. Why is the zipper printed on?
Wait, is it printed?
It's all...
Oh my gosh, it is.
The denim, all printed. Like, I mean, I get it. Every doll line is doing it.
So sad, though. And it just comes down to cost. Like, I did mention this in my picture that I post on my Instagram, was, like, I'm glad for once that they're picking, because it's been a while, I feel like, since, like, any brand, whether it's Mattel or another brand, has picked up a doll, or like they're coming with their own doll line. Versus saying, oh, this movie's coming out, let's make dolls for that movie. Which to me is like a cop-out. That to me, they're not really, like, no one's sitting there and like picking out the hair color and the hat and the purse to go with the earrings. It's more of like, oh, here's a character stamp print that we got from a movie. So I will give them this as a positive. I'm excited that they're coming out with a line that is not licensed to a film or a cartoon. It's something that they originally sat down and they're like, let's make... If they are making webisodes, let's make webisodes. Let's come out and, like, do something different.
I'm happy that it's a new doll line. I just think that overall, I get one thing. From the designer's aspect, the team behind it, they're probably disappointed because they're probably being told, like, we need to cut back costs. Like, you can't have denim on this. You can't have zippers.
Hair,
you can't have metallic earrings. Like, even with Monster High, like, the only line that ended up with metallic paint was Dawn of the Dance in the whole span of that doll line. So I think that it's unfortunate for the team that probably worked really hard on this to have to push poor quality, because this is the same quality. I don't have them in hand, so I can't say, but based on these photos,
I'm hoping in person they'll make me feel better than the initial, like, because again, my initial was excitement because I'm like, ooh, something new, and then I was like, ooh, I liked the colored hair and stuff, but then when we started zooming in, we're like, oh, it's printed on fabric. Oh, they have articulation, but doesn't look that great.
They're like,
you know, it's kind of like I'm in the middle right now.
They're like
still.
Mycene fashionistas as well, because it's like the same quality as fashionistas, the same kind of hair thing going on. I think that it's a cool concept. I'm excited for the dolls because we don't have any doll lines. I'll probably still buy them and enjoy them for what it's worth.
What I literally said like a couple days ago on the live thing, I was like, I'm going to go toy hunting for them. And I was like, wait, I haven't said I'm going toy hunting in probably like a year and a half. And that's where my excitement's from now, is like, oh wow, there's something new that I can go to the store and hunt for. So it's giving me kind of like, what, 2015, 2000, like back in the day vibes for that. But I agree with you that I feel like they're just copy-pasting a lot of things. The printed on fabrics, they're giving me fashionista budgeting. I mean, I'm hoping Okay, we don't know price point at this point, so I'm thinking at least $15 to $20.
It was leaked that they decided, I want to say it was $14 or $15, maybe $16. It was the budget pricing.
Okay.
They are set to come out in July at Walmart, and I don't mind the reproduction of earrings or purses. I mean, even with Monster High, Clawdeena's purses were reused from my scene. Like, there's a lot of reused molds. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. My issue is when there's just, like, something a little bit lacking. I want to see myself in the dolls. So, personally, like, the only one that I see myself in would be Kenna, probably. Like, I like the other ones, but even when... And you can't really compare because it's almost like, you know, like if you get into a new relationship with a new boyfriend, and you're comparing him to your ex, like then go back to your ex. So like, it's just like with this, like I can't keep saying like, oh, well, it's not Monster High because it's not Monster High. So I think that... And
that's the thing that does get me a little, like, I see so many people already like just complaining and angry and this and an uproar online. And it's like, well, you can't, and even we have to stop ourselves sometimes from doing this too. Like, because we do compare to older Barbies or Monster High or my scene or Bratz or whatever. And it's just like, no, it's not that anymore, and this will never be that, and like, you know, so we have to sometimes even hold ourselves accountable to that too.
I think one thing like to keep in mind, like of course I feel like older Barbie collectors and even collectors of fashion royalty are sometimes inclined, or even Louis Vuitton, like they don't like the newer products because they're more modernized, there's more colors, there's things that back in the day were considered tacky. And so I think when it comes to things like this, you know, maybe our taste is different. But I'm also part of the beauty industry. So we're constantly on trend, constantly moving forward with what we want to see in the community. And personally, I feel like there's people in the beauty community who might resemble this, but it's something that's more niche based, which might work out perfectly for them. I think it's still a cool concept, but I think that it is definitely, like, looking at it, it's a very niche aesthetic.
Yeah, I don't feel like somebody who wants pastels and sandals and like no one who's into like boho chic is gonna buy these dolls because they look more like edgier rocker style dolls. But then you said one thing about like, oh, you know, like, oh, like Louis Vuittons, nobody likes the newer styles because they want to be on trend. But yeah, but if something's not made well, I don't care how new it is. And that's, again, I don't want to give my full opinion yet just because we don't have the physical dolls here. But I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, well, if this is like fashionista quality, then we already know what...
Because, I mean, even Fashionista has a lot of on-trend designs.
For being cheap, yes.
But then where is the quality? Because it's like people stop... But I mean, Fashionista might be their most successful line, but I think that when it comes to the quality, people don't care as much because... You understand it's a budget line. Yeah, so I think... Even when you go on the Barbie style page, like, where is that quality? Of course, that's, like, insane budgeting.
Oh, I know. It's like, every time I see anything on there, I'm like, why aren't they making that? Like,
and I mean...
Are people not wanting to spend money on dolls? I feel like there is.
I mean, I don't believe that it's a lack of funding for dolls because people... I mean, even me, like, I'll go back and buy old Bratz for, like, $70, $80. So if I'm willing to buy an older doll for that much, I mean, for some doll lines, like MGA, for example, I would just say, why don't you just repro old doll lines that people wanted? Like Monster High, like, sought-after doll lines, just repro those. Or when it comes to producing a new doll line, which, I mean, again, I'm all for the concept. Of course, it's new. I said the same thing when it came to more recent doll lines. Like, you know, they're new. They're starting. Let's see where it goes. But I will say that, and it could be that I was 10 years old at the time, so it's easier, but I think...
Well, see, I wasn't 10 when I was buying all those.
Remember when, like, Monster High came out, and it felt exciting. Like, it felt like this was
I was super excited. Again, I mean, I've mentioned this in other videos before, too. I was walking down the aisle at Walmart with my mom, because, like, I always do, or used to, like, always go doll hunting, I guess, back then, even before videos, and I'm obviously forever goth, like, forever, but I was like, oh, it's a doll in a coffin-shaped box? And then I looked at the box and I said Mattel, and I was like, Mattel's making vampire dolls? You know, and it stood out because it was so different, and the quality was there, because I looked at her accessories and I was like, oh, she has fishnets on, and they're real fishnets? Like, you know, that was a big thing for me. So with this doll line, again, this was kind of like our first, like, impressions, our first, like, what we thought of, you know, when we first, like, saw the images at Clamor and things like that, but... I don't want to do 100% like, I love them or hate them, because I want to touch them first to see how I really, really feel. But just off the bat, though, they look like they're going to be, like...
They look like they might hit or miss. I'm still excited regardless to get them.
I am excited regardless,
I want them. I'm not going to say I don't want them. And, of course, listen, I know people in the comments are probably going to be dragging us, but listen, we're here to critique. Like, that's things. People will be like, stop complaining, but we're here to critique it. Like, we're
the pros and cons. And I feel like, I have a lot of pros. Like, I like the bright colored hair.
Yeah.
I like that they're using heavier makeup and the eyeliner. Like, I'm like, oh my god, that's like what, like you said, what it reminds you of you. It's like how I do my heavy eyeliner. I like that stuff. But also you have to be realistic breaking it down, like, okay, well, you know, the plastic quality, okay, the fabric's printed on, like, which I say a million times on this channel, but it's one of those things where, you know, we're trying to be fair from. And one thing in their slogan for their picture, it says the Wild Hearts crew is a sisterhood of girls challenging everyone everywhere to dare to be different, which is their hashtag, which to me very much gives me vibes of Monster High, where it was like, be
the
yourself,
freaky flaw.
be unique, be a monster. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can see where they're trying to, like, maybe grab onto those people who are like, oh, you're into Monster High, you know?
You know what I would say is I really liked how Monster High as a doll line ended up actually collaborating with campaigns of activism, like the Kind campaign, the Born This Way Foundation. There was like several, like there was like the We Stop Hate. There were so many ones, so I hope that they do the same thing with Wild Hearts, where they do real forms of activism, like maybe
and dare people to be different.
Yeah, like the campaigns and things that they do. I think that's really, really cool that they do that. And I think, you know, ultimately it's hit or miss. Now, personally, if a new doll line comes out and they want to be on trend, you need a Tesla. You need a doll with a Tesla. You need a doll with makeup palettes.
I actually did see a doll Fiat, like an actual Fiat brand at Big Lots, and I was like,
at Big Lots?
Yes, on the clearance shelf, and I was like, Fiat? What? And it was with a generic brand doll. So, but I could see what they were trying to do, though. Girls don't drive, I hate to say it, Corvettes anymore. like the old Barbie Corvettes, Mustangs, all these gas guzzlers. People want Fiats and Teslas, and like, so they're trying to be on brand. So like, daring to be different, you know, trying to be unique. I like how they're still sticking on to that kind of thing instead of saying like, I'll be the same.
No, we're excited for it. This is just our thoughts. Hopefully there's no factory malfunctions. I'm gonna say this before they come out. If those dolls, they'll be canceled immediately. The doll community is over it. We're over it. We're over it.
And I cannot repaint eyes. So if that doll doesn't come out perfect from the factory, like, I'm gonna be so unhappy.
No lips smeared across the plastic of the box. No missing limbs. Like,
Mattel better have someone literally just standing on the line checking every single doll that comes by and being like, okay, no one's gonna get mad at us on Instagram today. Like,
oh, yeah.
So comment below, what are your guys' first impressions and first thoughts on the new Wild Hearts crew by Mattel? Once I go toy hunting, I will definitely film toy hunts trying to find them. I'm so excited. And then, which I'll try to drive to you to see if maybe we can go toy hunting. Yay. And then also, once I actually get them, I'm going to do a review of all of them as well. So thanks for watching, you guys. Comment. Bye.
See ya.